Hey there, my name's Jeremy Flagg. I am the cover villain, and I'm also the creator of Notion for Authors. In this particular video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at the series page and how to make some edits on our Universe Bible. Now, the nice thing about a Universe Bible is if you write multiple books, you might call it a series Bible. But maybe you have multiple series in a particular world, and now we have a Universe Bible. So you can use it at whatever level you want. If you want it as a series Bible, it can be a series Bible. If you want it as a Universe Bible, you can do that as well. So you can see I've already put in the name of this particular series, and I've already gone in and renamed it. And we just do that by clicking on the title, Conquering the World. There we go. So if we go back, you'll see it automatically updates. So if we click on Conquering the World, let's go look at what we have for options. Now, you'll remember from the writing projects, if we click on the top of any of our drop-downs, we can go in and edit property, and we can add more. So in this one, I've already added in technology, but let's add one more. Let's add in deities. That shows up in some of my books. Now, if we go over here, Elric the Mighty Mage is actually a deity. So let's change that. So you can add or delete to your heart's content. Now, the other one that you can edit is the status here. And this is just a simple edit properties. And you can add in as many or as few as you want. I just try to keep this one kind of simple, but you might have a more complex writing process. By all means, you can add, let's say, second draft. And drag that right there. And now we can change this to second draft. Now, something that you might want to think about is this button right here. You might want to keep track of where they show up, and you can just type that in as you please. We can also change this and turn it into a relation. So I'm going to show you how to do that, because this is something that you might want to make easier. Because remember, I talked about I don't want to make redundant information, so let's not. So if we click on appeared in and go to edit property, we're going to go one step further than what we've done before. We're going to click on type, and we're going to go all the way down to relation. And we are going to do the writing projects, and yours underneath will most likely say author 2024 or whatever you have decided to name the template. You can tell that this is the correct version for me because it says demo copy. So I'm going to select that. Once we have that, we just click add relation. Now, why is this something that you might want to do? You could easily just type it in. Well, now this magical charm shows up in your first 5 steps. You'll remember this from the writing projects video. But guess what? It also shows up in Sexy World Conquerors, because of course it does. So you can add them in, and what this is coming from is your writing projects. So it links to the existing database in your writing projects. And if there is a book that you haven't listed in writing projects, but you know it also shows up in there, so let's add your second. Let's do your 5 second steps. So now it shows up there as well. And we can click new, and it will show up in our writing projects. That's why I like this when databases talk to each other. You don't have to, but you can. Now, there's some extra columns over here. And let's say you are taking your book Bible and you're including it on Patreon. You could put the date that you're going to put it on Patreon, and then maybe you show it up on your website later, and then ultimately it goes in your newsletter that happens the 15th of every month. You could do that. let's just say you don't have a Patreon, you don't want a Patreon, this is useless to you. Well, easy enough. You just click the title, go down to delete property and click delete. And then over here where the link is, you can delete that property as well. Now, the other thing that we have built in here is a pretty rudimentary template. So if we click this open, we'll get the sidekick where we can upload a couple images, we can put in our important details, and we could put in our long form descriptions. Maybe we have pages of data. But you could also put in eye color. You could put in hair color, those things that you quickly forget. I write a lot of steamy romance, and we have to make sure that everyone gets properly described. You catch my drift. So that might be something that you can add there. I'm not going to show you how to edit this template, but it would be the same thing as the writing project's edit template video. We would just do it on this page instead. So if you haven't yet, watch that video and apply it right here, and it will do the same thing on this page. Every section has its own template, so those two don't talk to each other. You have to be inside a series Bible to do it. Now, just be aware, like before, if you edit the template, it is not retroactive, so you will have to change it. All right, so if we go back, we have now done the Conquering the World Bible. Over here, for this other Bible, if we go in, you'll notice it's a different Bible. So the beauty of this is every series can have its own Bible, every universe can have its own Bible, and they don't play with one another. If you do want them to play with one another, I would suggest putting it under the same Bible and just call it a second series. For instance, let's say series 2 is Conquering the World, and the next series is called Maintaining the World. But it doesn't have its own Bible. It's in the Conquering the World universe. So let's just delete that Bible. Now, I can just use this one. All right. So that is the series page, maintaining the series and universe Bible, depending on how you want to use it. It's flexible and it can work for either or.